Hi guys, here from Pax Europiana. I'm very happy to welcome you here, and I'm in this little improvised podcasting studio. I'm in the train from Kiev to Mariupol, and that's in the coast of Ukraine in the south. That's the area close to the front line, and I decided to go here. Don't worry, I will not throw myself in front of any Russian tanks. I will just be in the city, but I would like this solidarity tour to express that it's not acceptable any further kind of Russian aggression in Ukraine. Already the 8 years of aggression were too much, and the Crimea annexation, that's absolutely unacceptable. We will never accept it, and any form of further aggression will lead to war with Europe. Not that I will come to fight. I'm 53 years old, Oberleutnant of Austrian Reserve, but I'm not in any military capacity. Actually, I'm here just as a peace envoy of myself. I don't represent anybody. I'm just really so angry that Putin is using military force to escalate and to impose his wishes on Europe, that I decided to make this tour to express my solidarity with the European Ukrainians and also call Putin for peace. He will maybe not be so impressed by my two flags here. It's a bit improvised here from this train. By the way, Mr. Zelensky, in Austrian trains we have internet. It would be really cool to have internet on this train. I could tweet permanently and upload my videos faster. But okay, this is a very nice train, clean, fine, and it's 14 hours to go to the south of Ukraine. I've only been in my life in Mariupol, in Zaporozhye and Odessa, so it's my third time to go in the south, and I was once in Ivano-Frankivsk for skiing, so third train trip it is, and the third time as well to the south of Ukraine, to the coast. Yeah, no, I was once in Kherson. I was, Odessa, Zaporozhye, it's the fourth time. So I'm very curious for Mariupol, how it is. I will make a lot of videos about it, and I will also talk about how neutrality is unacceptable, Finlandization is bad, and if neutrality, it should be offered by the return of the occupied territories, like Austria got neutrality as the price for unity. Putin and Macron have not offered that. They just want to impose neutrality on Ukraine, which was, by the way, neutral in 2014 when it was attacked because of Budapest Memorandum. Now it wants to join NATO, and Putin doesn't want to give back Crimea or Donbass in any meaningful way. So that's absolutely unacceptable what's happening at the moment. So I call for West integration. I could also imagine West integration, meaning the Western German model for Ukraine of NATO and EU accession, sealed by the euro. As I have now said many times already, Cyprus could also be an option in case that Russia wants to have a settlement. But at the moment, Russia doesn't want to have a settlement. They want to have standstill in the West, as I have said in this column I published in Wiener Zeitung. They want to have standstill in the West, standstill in Ukraine, have 2 years now of complete standstill, and then impose their will on Ukraine and on the West. And that we cannot allow. And I will make many tweets and many of these video podcasts to make that entirely clear, and also explain that Finlandization is a derogatory word, and it was very bad by Macron to use it, and he chose its utter incompetence, and that's why I call for Mrs. Pécresse to be the president of France, and I hope she will be the heiress of Jacques Chirac, my great, and possible not only mine, but I think the only real French president worth of significance in the last whatever since de Gaulle. And the rest you can really put in the dustbin of history. Good, this is NATO, this is EU. I think I made my case very clear. Mariupol will always be in Ukraine. It's European Mariupol, and I would like to show you all these things. What I've never been there, so I'm curious as well to learn. Bit excited. I'm not the official, so I'm not invited in a way. I just go myself. No Ukrainian official guides me to the front line like Mr. Schallenberg and Mrs. Baerbock. So you will not see such spectacular tweets like what they have to offer. But I will do my case as a civil society activist, as a development consultant, as a friend of Ukraine, as a European, and as a pro-Atlantic American. I'm not paid by any American institutions, by the way. They actually don't even want to meet me in Austria because they think, who is that? He doesn't say what the government says. I really don't say what the Austrian government says. I really don't know what they are doing. Now they came to Kiev and they had to offer something. They offered 2.5 million of development aid or humanitarian aid. You know, this is what government and foreign ministers do when they come to crisis. They offer something. 2.5 million is what a Ukrainian oligarch pays for his villa. I mean, in an interstate context, in a country of war, you know, when every cruise missiles or any kind of these rockets are very expensive items. These stingers or these javelins are very expensive items. And then you come with 2.5 million and humanitarian aid, that shows the utter neglect. And basically, you're basically side with Putin. And I think you have read, maybe some of you, my really wonderful op-ed to call Mr. Schüssel and Mr. Kern and Mr. Gusenbauer and Mrs. Kneissl and Mr. Leitl, all of them to resign from the Russian payroll because that is treason on the European idea. Of course, they're all anti-Americans, though they hate NATO. But at least, you know, they are Europeans. They promised to my generation to fight for Europe. I was there. I was the student leader during the referendum campaign of '94 from the Christian Democratic Party. I was the activist and I was working for them in the SME union time. Some of you might remember I was the student leader of EDS. It's me, good to feeling. Hello everybody. And then I cannot believe that the paid agents of Putin are blocking Ukraine to join the European Union, because if you are paid by somebody, you are a paid agent. And I can call Wolfgang Schüssel, Christoph Leitl paid agents of Mr. Putin, because that's what they are. That's the term to be used. And it's the treasonable act to the European idea, because we have a European nation, Ukraine. They want to join the European Union. That's the task of all Europeans, to support them, not to appease Russia because they have the tanks and the nukes, the money to pay for our politicians, and to invite them to beautiful things where beautiful things happen, and then they come back and they say, no, Ukraine, you were part of Soviet Union. By the way, not voluntarily, because it was occupied in 1918 and militarily defeated, and again in the Second World War, and again the Ukrainians always wanted to escape, and they escaped again in 2014, and Putin took revenge. So it's like this, the history. I cannot make it up, I cannot change it, it's simply like that. And if anybody has some kind of Stalinistic, Putinesque view of the history because he's paid or he doesn't know better, I cannot change that. I can just read in the English and German facts of history. Hello, NATO, EU flag. Yeah, and by the way, did I say it already? Get some internet in your trains. 14 hours of internet is the longest time I was out of internet since a long time. But anyhow, it's clean, it's fine. I'm alone in this apartment or compartment. It's okay for traveling. I will be in Mariupol and I will keep you updated, and more to come from Pax Europiana. Stay with me and give me a little bit of a subscribe button, because I'm so lonely with my videos. Only so few people watch them, so it would be so nice. I do also a podcast, by the way. That's also very good, and I will do one more of these podcasts and then a lot of tweets, and I'm looking very much forward to your feedback and to your support for European Ukraine and also for the EU future of Ukraine. Thanks a lot for listening. All the best. Bye.